Hi, Catherine here with Handmade by Circle Art Designs. Well, today on the mat, let's make a decorative link bracelet. I just love this bracelet. Daughter introduced me to link work a couple of years ago, but I really haven't done much with it because after all, she's the one who is the expert on it. But I saw this beautiful bracelet. Isn't that gorgeous? In an old magazine that I picked up at a resale shop a couple of years ago, and it's one of those daydream magazines. And today I decided I would share this with you. If I still had the magazine, I'd let you know where I saw the article. But let's turn our eyes to the mat and get started. As I turn my eyes to the mat, I see my thankful and blessed mat. I just love starting out with this because I try to remember every day to be thankful for all the blessings that the Lord has given me. And I want you to know I walked out on my front porch today. I was a little behind the times, but cup of coffee in hand, Word of God in the other. And there was just a symphony of all kinds of bird songs going on in my front yard. I do not know what was happening, but they were making music. They were singing about their blessings and their thankfulness. And it was just an amazing thing to hear. So, thinking back over your day, or maybe even your week, what do you have to be thankful for? It could be a small thing. The other thing I saw on my walk today was a yard that had not mowed yet, but they had not mowed because of their wildflowers. And even though it's still February, it was in full purple bloom and amazing. So, what has the Lord brought to your attention this week? Something amazing, something common, but amazing. All right, Matt's ready. Let's get started. All right. Now I've put several on here to try to stay in line. This is Bead Nova. It is a shop that is on Amazon, and I got these gorgeous large gold links there. And let me open this up. I haven't even opened it up yet to really look at these, but they were so beautiful in the box itself. And also, I got these in silver. So the bracelet you're seeing today, I'm going to use different beads, and I'm going to do a silver one of these as well. And I will put a picture of it up on the community board whenever I get it done. Now, these are 6/0s with these large links. I could not put anything else on it but a 6/0. But whenever I talked to my daughter, she said, "Oh, yes, Mom, I always use 6/0s. Well, I didn't know that. But I know it now. Like I said, I did not have the magazine, and it wouldn't have helped anyway because the magazine just suggested the pattern. It did not talk about decorating it. And you know me, I like to decorate. That is a snap clasp. That's what I'll be using. And then I'm using my round nose and chain nose, but these are real smooth inside. A lot of times on the inside they have ridges or grooves, and with these beautiful links, I did not want to take a chance of scarring them. Now, if you have these kind of things and all you have is grooves, you can take masking tape and put around your chain nose or round nose pliers, and that will help you to have a smooth surface that is less likely to scar the finish on these gorgeous jump rings. And I call them jump rings. She calls them something else, but she gets kinds that are in all different colors and they're amazing. But I really wanted something that had just a classic look to it. So I'm taking and holding these rings between two pliers, and I'm only going to twist one side, and I'm not twisting it open very much either, because I want to make sure that it will go back together and close correctly. When you're making your own chain, you want to make sure that it will close correctly. And so you don't want to put any more strain on that jump ring or that link than you have to. Next, I am going ahead and that 6/0 seed bead, and let me tell you, this is Bead Treasures. I got it from Hobby Lobby, and the one thing about this is they're not consistent. I don't mind that at all, but you are going to have to hunt and peck to find the hole that is right for the link you are using. Now, sometimes it fit on one end, but the link was smaller on the other end. I have put 3 on there. This is a mix, and I just love it. It is so pretty. And as I said, I picked these up at Hobby Lobby, and they're beautiful. Next, after my 3 6/0s, I'm putting on 2 closed rings, and I'm going to go ahead and again, just as you twisted on one side when you opened it, I'm going to twist on one side only when I close it. I feel the top to make sure it's closed, and then I'll be ready to start the next one. Now, I'm doing a link and a beaded link, and then 2 of the links without beads. So I've opened this up. I did single link, 2 links. Now I'm going to do another beaded link, and I am not, you can if you want to, but I am not choosing a pattern where I do green, blue, navy blue, or, light blue, dark blue, purple. I mean, not purple, green. It's really, I'm just picking them up at random. I think for me personally, that's what I like best. And as I said, it's going to take a little time, only 6/0s for you to find the ones that really fit. But you want them to be loose enough that they will move around this link whenever you wear the bracelet. It's really a pretty bracelet. I just love it. I think I'm going to make this in several different bead colors because it's lightweight, it's stunning. It's a classic look finished. All right, so now I've got my beads on. I'm going ahead and putting those, did it jump away from you? It did. Oh, I know. Now, this is a mistake I made. I assumed they were all closed because the first 2 I picked up were closed. But they're just like any link that you use. Some of them will be closed and some of them won't. So make sure even the links that you are putting on that have no beads on them are closed, because you don't want this to open up on you and break. All right. Now then, I have dropped a bead off of it whenever I grabbed it, so I'm going to have to go through and try again. Do I realize I've dropped a bead? I think I do. Right there, it finally clicked in. You know what? You're missing something on here. There's some beads missing. So let's get a hold of it again. And I put my bead on. It did jump because I had to chase that bead down. And then I put the single beaded link onto the 2 links that I just finished. But now, after making sure I'm checking it, I'm going to put on 2 more of the plain links. And so after your first beaded link, you will put on 2 links. Then you'll do another beaded link, and that one you're going to put on the 2 that you had previously put on a link, and 2 more. Let's see if I can show you this. Now, move out of the way. Let me get you a picture. Isn't that pretty? Okay, looking at this pattern from the left side where that red arrow is, the first thing we started out with was a single length. Once you open it up between two chain nose pliers, twisting only one side, you're going to put on 3 of those 6/0 seed beads. Then before you close that link up, you're going to add 2 of your plain links. And don't be like me, make sure that they're both closed before you move to the next step. The next thing we see in this picture is another of the beaded single links. Again, I have put 3 of the 6/0 seed beads on them, and then I am adding it to the 2 links that we just finished. But before we go on making sure that they're closed, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more links. So after this, every decorated single link will have 2 sets of links on them. One will go behind it and one will go ahead of it. So we will split those 2 right in the middle. And don't worry about it if your beads go all over your single link. It's okay. It just adds to the movement and it is beautiful. All right, let's move on. So I've just added the extra 2 links, and now I'm doing another decorative, and I'm putting on, again, 3 of the 6/0s, and I pour out a lot of these because, as I said, if I was using a thinner jump ring as opposed to these thicker links, it would fit on there without having to try, but I want the sturdiness of that thicker link it. And I will look and see if they still have some of these up in the store on Amazon. Now I am trying this gorgeous silver lined bead. If any bead that you're using these links on, if it's wide, I did not get it to fit. I tried to force one and it busted the glass. So I went, nope, not doing that anymore. And these are glass beads. They're not plastic and they're just beautiful. Plastic's fine if that's all you've got. This is a very wonderful bracelet for anything with a hole that is large enough to get that length. I have put my 3 on, and you'll notice there are 2 links already on there that we just finished, and then I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more on, just like that. And then I will close this up. And as I said, you want to be very gentle with this. You do not want a weak spot in these. So only twist one side and be gentle when you're twisting it. Don't do the jerking motion I have seen people do when they're doing jewelry, because that will make a weak spot. And isn't that pretty? That is just gorgeous. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up till I get it the length that I want it. And when I get it the length that I want it, I will meet you back here and show you how I'm going to finish this bracelet. And while I'm finishing up making this piece long enough, if you would take a moment and like and comment on this video, and if you haven't subscribed already to this channel, would you please subscribe? And don't forget to click that notification button. And there's a second step where you have to click all if you want to see everything that I am putting up. Otherwise, the algorithm is kind of pick and choose as what they give you from my channel. And lastly, would you please share this with friends and family? Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you spending your time with me. Thank you. All right, let's speed this up a little bit and then I'll be back when it's long enough. All right, so I have pulled out this Vita book, little box, and it does have other jump rings in it. I'm moving those and looking to see if I have any of the jump rings that originally came with that, and I do. And I'm going to pull out a couple of the original because they're slightly heavier weight, and we are using links, and so that also will be a heavier weight. And if you look at this box, yes, I'm a hoarder. I just can't get rid of stuff, and so I have little pieces all over, but that's what I'm doing. I am looking for 2 of those heavier weight jump rings. I will go ahead and open these, but two of the chain nose pliers. And again, I am using my chain nose pliers that are smooth on the inside. Now that is a snap closure. I'm laying my bracelet out. Isn't that pretty? Let's see. Oh yeah, it's real pretty. Don't you just love the way they just move all over? I just love it. It's gorgeous. Okay. And I love that single, double. I love that. I guess it should be, yeah, single, double. But I just really love it. And so what I'm doing is I'm making sure that it's not twisted, just like you would with any chain that you were using for a bracelet or a necklace before you put the closure on. And then I'm going to keep this closure as a single piece until I get the first part put on. And the reason I do that is these snaps, you have a finished side on the little round that you want to make sure goes up. And then when you put on the snap part itself, the little knobbin, it looks like you're putting it on backwards because the finished part is laying against your wrist, but you're not actually. You want the knobbin that looks finished going through the little circle that looks finished. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my bracelet down. I've got that snap still together. I'm just going to add that small little jump ring right there and slip on the round portion of the snap closure. Just like that. Close it up, only moving one side. I'm going to make sure that it's really closed. Touch the top. If it's not rough, it should be closed. And then once I get that done, I'm going to unsnap it, and a little snap circle will be on there with the finished side up. Now then, I'm going to turn it around, make sure that that bracelet is sitting up and not twisted, and then I'm going to put on the little knobbin snap itself. Now, when you look at it, as I said, it will look like it has a finished ball, but the part you are facing up does not look finished, and it looks like a raw edge maybe. And that's because it is actually going to set up in your circle. And the finished part of that little knobbin, again, will go up against your wrist. And when you get you some of these, you will know exactly what I'm saying when you take the first one apart. So again, I am putting the jump ring onto the bracelet, laying flat on the table. And then the little knobbin, and going to close this up. And then I will snap it closed. Yeah. Always make sure that you check your jump rings to make sure they're really closed. And this just snaps together. I can do it. And I always have to have someone come and fix my bracelet, attach it. Now, isn't that pretty? I just love that. That is such a classic piece. And let me tell you something about this. If you have men in your life that love that link look, you can leave the 6 O's off if that's too feminine looking for them. This makes a gorgeous bracelet to give any man your life, your sons, your husbands, your boyfriends, the friend at church. It doesn't matter. This is a beautiful look, and it looks more complicated than it really is. I love glitzy things, and so I will always put beads or charms or something on one of these. But isn't that pretty? That is just gorgeous. Again, we're going to snap this closed, just like that. So you have the finished part up and the finished part up. And let's put this out on the little heart. Isn't that pretty? That's just so pretty. Put it up there where you can see. All right, I think that is amazing. All right, let's look at some pictures. Now, isn't that just a beautiful piece? I love pieces that look classic. They could have been worn 20 years ago, and they still look beautiful today, and they'll look beautiful in another 20 years. Hope you gather you up some supplies and make you one of these. Make you several of these. There are some stores that sell links that you can get them in any color. So look around, make choices, be bold, and let's have a happy beading experience. God bless you. God keep you until we meet next week. Catherine, Handmade by Circle Art Designs. God bless y'all. Happy beading.